By the time the final Land Rover Defender reached the end of the Solihull production line last year, its prolonged demise had been better documented than the fall of most empires. The model, though, had well earned the theatrical spectacle of a factory floor strewn with photographers. That's what 67 years of heritage, engineering legitimacy and buyer adulation gets you. The future, though, remains intriguingly uncertain. Land Rover will unequivocally replace the Defender, but the precise shape and nature of that car is a subject that rolls ruminatively around Gaydon like an imperial mint in the mouth of a distracted undergrad. Certainly it will not be exactly, or perhaps even vaguely, like the car it supersedes. And in that respect there are those who unhesitatingly feel like they could do better. Jim Ratcliffe is apparently primary among them. Being founder and CEO of a firm like ineos, one of the largest chemical manufacturers in the world, presumably endows you with a certain amount of confidence, and Ratcliffe, along with a Pathfinder platoon made up of engineers and auto industry bods, has thrown his exploratory hat into the whack-a-mess next ring. If that sounds like lunacy, then it's worth relating that ineos Automotive not only has some financial clout courtesy of its parent company, but that the product they're talking about is a decidedly niche market prospect for, one would suspect, the type of buyer currently happy to pay upwards of £70,000 for a nearly new example of the last Defender, or more for a twisted or con-designed version. The ineos Grenadier, a temporary name borrowed from pub where the idea was reputedly born, will not, of course, actually be a Defender. JLR takes a famously litigious view of anyone silly enough to color inside its trademarked lines, but will instead borrow liberally from its idiosyncratic list of features: an aluminium body, steel coil suspension, four-wheel drive, very generous axle articulation, and the separate ladder frame chassis made unfashionable by the industry's preoccupation with unitary construction. Handily, and not unlike the original thinking behind the Defender and its ancestors, that ought to make the Grenadier not only technically robust, but also comparatively affordable to construct when placed next to the financial hurdle of, say, mass-producing a McLaren. However, that hardly moderates the challenge of conceiving, designing, fabricating, developing, outfitting, testing and perfecting a new car from the ground up with nothing to work from except a 67-year-old model that you are not allowed to copy. Still, nowhere is the ground softer for such exploits than the UK. The Defender's enormous popularity notwithstanding, the buying public's affection for cottage industry-style manufacturers is well established, and Ratcliffe's team has made all the right noises. The Grenadier's off-road bias will not be softened for onward comfort. The idea is obviously for it to be as loud, and as granular, and as charismatic as the car it seeks to spiritually replace. As statements of early intent go, it's an encouraging one. You can find out more at ineos' new website, or cut straight to the chase below.